Recently, a Republican representative from the state of North Dakota, he is a state lawmaker in North Dakota, but he was arrested for suspicion of DUI and refusing to give a chemical test to confirm whether or not he was in fact driving impaired. But during the traffic stop that was caught on camera, he went on a racist and homophobic rant against the officers who pulled him over. Now, according to this lawmaker, again, Republican lawmaker in North Dakota by the name of Nico Rios, Mr. Rios had left a Christmas party, had a little too much to drink, which he freely admitted on social media the next day, but when the cops pulled him over, he was so irate that this is what he said. And I'm going to give you a bit of a language warning here. I'm going to try to censor where I can, but I can't censor all of it. But here is what Republican Congressman Nico Rios had to say to these cops. Your country is being overtaken by effing migrants and refugees, right? You're arresting me for driving home, but people come into your country and rape your women, and I'm the effing bad guy? I'm going to fight for the people of England more than you ever would, you little bitch. You guys are going to regret picking on me because you don't know who the F I am. See, it doesn't matter who the F you are. If you were driving impaired, the officers were doing their job. He also, definitely not going to read that, but also threw some homophobic slurs at one of the officers as well. While also saying, migrants are, they're raping your women. Your women, as if the men of this country own all the women. I know Republicans want to think that they do, but you don't. Those are not your women. They are, in fact, women. That's how you say that. You don't add a possession, when you're talking to a man about a woman, like, hey, that's your what? No. We don't do that, buddy. Here's what he posted on social media the day after he was arrested. This past weekend, I had a few too many drinks at a Christmas party, made the mistake of driving home, and received a DUI. I'm deeply embarrassed, as this is not how I want to represent the people. Is that it? You're just embarrassed about the DUI. You're not embarrassed about the racism, the xenophobia, the homophobia. Like, you're not embarrassed by any of that, just embarrassed by the fact that you shouldn't have been behind the wheel. You could have killed somebody. You could have injured yourself. Thank God you didn't. But that's the only thing you're embarrassed about. Nothing about your deep-seated hatred for clearly so many different groups of people in this country. Because that's what we're dealing with here. I don't know if you've heard this expression or not, but, a drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. And I think, that's pretty apt in this specific situation. If you get drunk or intoxicated in any way, and your first reaction is to start being homophobic, xenophobic, racist, all those things, then that's who you are. Okay? The lack of inhibition because you've had a few too many is what brings it out. It's what allows you to think that it's okay to say these things because that is who you are. You just usually have that filter, right? You usually have that thing in your brain that tells you, hey, you can't say this out loud. But after you've been drinking, that little voice goes away. And I think that is exactly what happened with Mr. Rios here. He showed us, and of course the people of North Dakota who voted him in office, showed us who he is. And I hope the voters remember that the next time he's up for re-election.